This is Bruce Boudreau, head coach of the Vancouver Canucks, and it's time for Clay's Canucks commentary live. Let's go with Clay right now.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am Canuck Clay. I have something on my mouth there. It's gone now. And welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary for Tuesday, January the 10th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. A little bit scrambly today because I'm coming from bowling and I had to use my camera earlier today at work. So I just realized I don't think I adjusted it correctly, but we'll make it work. Thanks to everyone for being here. Moderators, thank you in advance. Do what you need to do. Members, legends, Hall of Fame members, and franchise members, thanks to all of you for your continued support. And everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether you're in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston, in Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, or around the world, thank you for being here. You know I don't take it for granted. I know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else, getting ready for work, school, bed. But the fact that you are here with me, 40 of you in here waiting for me as I was a couple minutes late, thank you. I appreciate you very, very much. Now, I invite you to subscribe so you can get active in the chat section. I invite you to like the video. There's 40 of you in here, only 8 likes. Let's jack that up to 20. I can't believe I said jack that up. Yeah, but let's jack that up to 20 for sure. You guys know how much I like that 50% ratio. And I invite you to leave donations, get that donation train out of the station. I invite you to gift memberships, become a member, upgrade your memberships, and most importantly, get active in the chat section. If you are listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. And don't forget, I go for the first 15 minutes, then I'll turn it over to you for the second 15 minutes once I do my mid-show sponsor read. I see one question, and it's fair. I see, is there new rules? No. I don't say them every show, but it goes without saying we don't tolerate racism, sexism, homophobia, ableist language. I used to say racist, sexist, homophobic, ableist, spam, in another language, swearing. And really, it's a whole respect thing for me, as I've said, and I mean this, I don't direct this to anyone in particular, but everyone in general. We have to be able to disagree, create discourse. One thing I don't want people not being able to express their opinion here. But if it's opinion different than ours, we have to be able to agree to disagree and especially respect it, and not resort to name calling and I saw some unhealthy behavior yesterday. So regardless of last night, really quickly, I see what I'm going to do is starting this weekend, I'm going to basically have moderators apply. So if you want to be a moderator, if you're not a moderator right now and you want to be one, this is your chance. Everyone who's a current moderator will also have to reapply. I'm just going to kind of make sure that we are doing the right things and we are representing this community the proper way. So I hope that makes sense, but don't worry about it yet. I will release all of that later in the week. We start off with a donation from Andrew. I'm giggling because it's a $7 donation. So in the choo-choo scale, I think it's one of these. Choo-choo. I'm not sure why my eyes went up like I was surprised when I said that. But Andrew, legendary Andrew Chang, thank you for the $7 donation. And yes. And I think this is Ahmet's first donation, which is awesome. So let's give some love to Andrew and let's give some love to Ahmet. Now, it's a $1 one, which I appreciate, but it's on the smaller scale, the choo-choo. So choo-choo. But Ahmet, I appreciate the donation just as well. So we already have donations from Andrew and from Ahmet. I keep wanting to say Emmett, but it's Ahmet. And both Andrew and Ahmet were at my meetup on. Yeah, you've never done this before? Good. Do more. And of course, Sean, I was with them all night. Sean, newly back from Mexico. Jacob, newly back from Montreal. By the way, Jacob will be joining the live stream tomorrow night. So it's an off night for the Canucks. They're not even practicing. So I figure I got to bring in someone who's going to bring in some viewers. So Jacob will be joining us tomorrow night to talk about his Montreal experience, his Team Canada expectations, and the fact that he's bowled 2 perfect games in the last week. And I will answer this real quick from Sean, and then I'll get to my discussion, and then we'll get to your questions a bit later. Sean says, wish Canuck would win in a Royal Rumble. Myers' size might make him hard to put over the top, but the way he falls down, I think 2 guys could just easily chuck him over. I don't know. Maybe Luke Shen, because Luke Shen is so good at hitting. Sure, one guy just has to move out of the way, and Luke Shen might fall over the top rope. But I'm going with Luke Shen to win the Canucks Royal Rumble. And I think, Petey Hughes, I think they're just going to get tossed over. Maybe someone like Dakota Joshua comes down. So I think it'll be Shen and Joshua in the finals, duking it out. So let me know if you're not a wrestling fan, if you no clue what we're talking about, I apologize. But if you are a wrestling fan, let me know. Let Sean know who you think would win a Canucks Royal Rumble. Jed Lawson, this is awesome. Joins franchise membership. Thank you, Jed. You will not be disappointed. Thank you. So let's give some love to Jed as well. There's a lot of really cool stuff happening. Oh, Jed realizes he wasn't a member anymore. Well, maybe you didn't miss me then. So thank you for the donations. Thank you to Jed for becoming a member. Let's talk about this Canucks game. Now, I realize it ended almost 4 hours ago, but I still think for some of us, it's fresh. I didn't get to watch it because I was at work. I had a late work meeting, had to come home, eat dinner, feed Mickey, and then go bowling. I got a chance to catch a bit of Game Over Vancouver. It was Samantha Chang, and she brought on Parker, and I thought that was a really, good show actually. Much love to both of them. So I saw some of that, but and then I had to go bowling, and I beat my opponent 3-1, and I beat him in total. So I actually got 8 out of 10 points, but I bowled my worst series of the entire year. 606 average, 606 total. So that's only 151.5 average. Really, really bad. 151 average. And then that is the end of the first half of the season. So I will get drafted to a new team. I like my team this year, Sean and Alex. We struggled in the first half, did better in the second half, but ultimately we still finished 16 out of 16 teams. So hopefully we will do a little bit better next week. And just to say, Sean personally would love to see Nikita Trampkin and Myers in a Hell in a Cell match. Yes, I think if one of them fell from the cage, they probably would not get up ever again. I don't think that's what you're wishing, Sean, but who knows? We'll talk after this. So, by the way, a bit of a unique night tonight. I'm going to go for about 30 to 40 minutes, but I won't rush off. Well, no, we'll see. I shouldn't say that. Then instead of my 12 o'clock prayer hour, I had to bump that to 2 a.m. because Sean's girlfriend, Fernanda, and her family are coming in from Mexico. So you know how Sean came in late Thursday? Well, Fernanda and her family are coming late today. So basically, Sean and I are going to the airport around 12:30 or 1, get them home, get them settled, and then I'll go to church for 2. So my church hour tonight is actually from 2 to 3 a.m. today. 2 to 3. So we'll see how much of that hour I'm actually awake. Burns says, do I get practice lessons from Jacob? No, because Jacob's a two-hander. Sean actually would be more. Jacob could help me with certain things. Sean could help me with certain things. I don't think anyone could help me with anything tonight, though. But when we ever have to play against each other, I obviously get a few pins of handicap. I actually end up doing quite well, so I don't know if they kind of give me a chance. Let's look at these stats, you guys. Let's look at this game real quick. I'll just break it down for about 5 minutes or so, and then I'll turn it over to you. Really quickly, I'm sure you've seen all the goals already. Penguins have a strong start, but Martin makes a bunch of saves, and then Connor Garland scores, comes down the left side, and puts it past DeSmith. 4.5 minutes in. Then 2 minutes later, Besser. What I like about Besser's goal is a good effort actually by by Mikheyev to get the shot on net. Horvat took a swing at it. I think he touched it. Besser, instead of rushing a shot on the forehand side, actually had the wherewithal to move it to his backhand, puts it past to Smith, 2-0. And then 25 seconds later, Hughes off a face-off, gets back to him. Pettersson wins the face-off to Shen. Shen quick pass to Hughes, and Hughes puts it past a stun DeSmith. DeSmith is out of the net, and 7 minutes into the game, it is 3-0 Vancouver. DeSmith gets chased for Tokarski in net, and it looks like we are laughing. No, we weren't laughing because then Malkin scores on a power play goal. It was a 5-on-3. You're not going to stop a team with Malkin and Rust and Raquel and Crosby. You're not going to stop them on a 5-on-3. And that was basically right off the faceoff. Then Crosby scores on a nice centering pass. Maybe Myers and Dries could have covered that better. And then Zucker scores on a right off a faceoff as well. And then it was kind of weird. I think he got deflected. And then Ekman Larsson, I know I wouldn't want to get hit in the head with a puck either, but Ekman Larsson, instead of trying to block it with his hand or his shoulder, he actually moves almost like he was scared of the puck. I know he's not scared of the puck, but it was just a reactionary thing. And now it's 3-3. So the Canucks 3-goal lead dissipates very, very quickly. I don't know if I could win the Royal Rumble. I do have a strong center of gravity, Rosero, but that's another way of saying I'm overweight. So 3-3, second period. Second period, the Canucks make it all the way to the 8-minute mark, and then Malkin scores. And this one was a bit of a backbreaker. Remember I was talking about Ethan Bear skating from center and taking all the way back to his zone? Well, Mikheyev gets it out of his zone, but then turns. Maybe he's getting forced to turn. And then he gets stripped by Malkin. Malkin to Zucker. Zucker back to Malkin. And if you watch the replay, Ekman Larsson played that very poorly. A 2-on-1, you have to block the pass. You let the goaltender take the shooter. But Ekman Larsson stumbles, gets twisted, does not block the pass. Easy goal for Malkin. And then Raquel scores on a power play goal. Kind of strange. I'm not sure the original puck hit him or Malkin in front of the net. But then Martin had no chance on that one. Travis Dermott scored in the third period. A really heads up play off the end boards, backhands it in for his first of the season. But then that's with 7 minutes left. And then the Canucks simply run out of time. Really interesting play. Besser was the fastest I've ever seen him. He actually cleared a puck away that was going into the empty net. But not only was I impressed with his speed, I was also impressed with the way he did not basically impale himself on one of the posts. So great speed shown by Besser. I wish it resulted in more goals or whatever, but that was indeed a good effort. And the Canucks lose 5-4. And this storyline is, well, there's a couple. One of them is blowing a 3-goal lead, which is crazy. And they blew it at least in the first period. So they had 40 minutes still to try and play Pittsburgh straight up. Pittsburgh outshoots Vancouver 36-24. They outface off them 2-1. 2 power play goals, none for the Canucks. So that's a big difference right there. Hits about equal. Good blocks by Vancouver. Penalty minutes about equal. Pettersson had 2 breakaways. So if he scores on one of those, if not both, maybe that's a different complexion. If the Canucks score, the game has a different complexion, not me. If the Canucks score on one of their power plays, maybe the game's different. But alas, it's another loss. Besser has 2 points. Luke Schenn has 2 assists. Hughes has 2 points, a goal and assist. Those are the multi-goals. You see the biggest thing on the minus. Schenn's a +3. Hughes is a +3. But then Myers and Ekman Larsson are a -2. Shots on goal, PD has 6. Hits, Schenn has 4. Miller has 4. Joshua has 4. Lazar has 0, which is surprising because he's had a lot of hits recently. Block shots, 3 for Ekman Larsson. And then you look at time on ice, Lockwood only gets 9 minutes. Not very effective, Lockwood. Lazar also with only 11 minutes. So overall, Spencer Martin doesn't look great. 861, lets in 5 goals. But I think without Martin, Pittsburgh could have been approaching 7, 8, even 9 goals. So let's not... The Canucks struggled against the Islanders. Their goaltending struggled against the Jets. Their goaltending, I do not think goaltending was the issue. Pittsburgh, you can see in the shot total, 36-24, and I'm sure the analytics bear out that Pittsburgh was the much better team. So yeah, I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights. I listened to a lot of commentary, but I rely on you to fill me in as well. So I'm going to do my mid-show sponsor read, and then once I finish that, I will read any comments, questions, whatever you want to talk about, the game, the state of the franchise, whatever you want to talk about tonight. But I will read them in a couple of minutes. Shout out to my primary sponsor, Van City Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. Thank you to my secondary sponsor, Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. Sign up now for a free 7-day trial. Use the link performandtransform.ca/CanuckClay, and Coach Patrick will contact you. Thank you to Gassy Jack Art, maker of this fine artwork. Thank you to Monkey 9 Brewing, my eternal sponsor. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Now, I thought you could use the discount code CanuckClay at checkout at Vessi.com and receive $15 off every pair of Vessi shoes that you buy. But Coach Rob actually tried it today, and I did too, and it doesn't seem to be working. So I need to contact Vessi tomorrow to make sure that that deal is still going. Maybe it's a technical glitch, but usually they don't allow the discount code when other promotions are going on. But I didn't see any other promotions going on. So let me get to the bottom of it. I still appreciate Vessi for all of their support. And Coach Rob, just wait 1 or 2 days until I get a proper answer. Mid-show reminder, subscribe so you can get active in the chat section. Like the video, leave donations like Andrew and Amit have. Become a member like Jed has. Increase, upgrade your membership. And of course, like, rate and review if you're listening on a podcast platform. And now I will get to all of your comments starting now. That's your cue to start pressing enter or copy and paste or whatever you are doing. Yes, Shannon, I hope you feel better as well. I saw that you have body ache and headache, so I hope you indeed feel better. Fangirl, which roster from seasons past that didn't make the playoffs do you think had the most potential to make the playoffs? There must have been a year where we had Messier, Linden, Bure, Mogilny, Naslin, where I don't think we made the playoffs. It must be 97, 98, 99. I think that was probably the most disappointing team. Amit, do you think that we are trying to tee, but saying that we are saying the opposite in the media? Yeah, there are ways that you can tee. You guys know I can't say it. There are ways that you can tee without actually teeing. That could be holding Demko back. That could be not dressing your best lineup. That could be losing games on purpose, which I don't think players do. I actually don't think that they're teeing on purpose, Amit. I really don't. I think that they're just not a good team right now. So it might look like it, but I don't think they're doing it on purpose. Meyer 6 million, OEL 10.5. No, is it 10.5? I think his cap it's only 8.25. But regardless, truly a defensive pairing for the ages. That's really bad. What are you saying about how did you get 10.5 for OEL? I know he's 8.25, but Arizona's covering 1 million of that. Yeah, I see 7.25 as his cap hit. Unless the actual salary is... No, it's 8.2. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, the total salary, because he's 8.2. He's got bonuses and base salary. So, yeah, in total money, it's 10.5. I stand corrected. Thank you, Glenn. Rosario, I have not seen... Is this official that this Saudi has purchased WWE? That's crazy if that's the case. I have not read the stories yet. And if that's the case... then that's crazy. That is crazy. I know Stephanie McMahon she actually resigned today. And I'm looking at, I need to read up on this. But if that's the case, I'm surprised and not surprised. I'm surprised in that it's not a US-based company. Saudi, do you mean an entire country purchased WWE, or is there a guy named Saudi? Rosario, tell me, because that caught me off guard, and I want to answer it properly. 97, 98, Derek, thank you. How many strikes at bowling today? Yeah, did I get more strikes than the Penguins? Yeah, I had 3 in my first game. I had 3 in my second game. I had 4 in my third game, so that's 10. And I had 2 in my fourth game. So I only had 12, and that's a perfect game. So it took me 4 games to get 12 strikes, where Jake gets it all in 1 game. Who is the first Canuck traded? Shen or Horvat? Amit says WWE has not been sold yet. They're in talks. When you go to prayer at the church at 2 a.m., will other people be there praying, or just you? Usually at 2 a.m., it's just me. Well, Actually, I've never gone at 2 a.m. When I go at midnight, it's usually me. Then another lady must get off a shift at the airport or something because she comes for the last 20 minutes. I kind of like it when I'm by myself, but I can't hog it. I can't just pray exclusively in the chapel. So tonight, Coach Rob, I expect it just to be me. Brian says Miller should be traded first. That first missed year, I suffered PTSD, but I got immune with the losing seasons. Yeah, which one would you rather have? Respectfully, I'm sort of joining Team T. I've given up in playoffs. I'm now hoping the Canucks will get a good draft pick. I don't hope against the Canucks. I just hope teams pass the Canucks. That's actually a very mature way of putting it, I see. Yeah, as I've outlined, we're closer to the bottom than we are a playoff team for sure. I'm totally fine with us not being a good team for a while. If they buy out OEL, how much cap space? Yes, I'm looking at I'm going to pull this up real quick because it's kind of interesting. I keep talking about how it's not as bad as I think. So usually with a buyout in the NHL, what happens is you end up paying 2/3 of the salary owed over twice the length of a contract. So again, it's 2/3 of a salary owed over twice the length of the contract. So I'm going to pull this up for you and show you this. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, if the Canucks buy him out, it's actually way better than I thought. So remember, 2/3 of the contract, the buyout ratio is 2/3, and then it's twice, 8 years because there's 4 years left on his contract. So if they buy him out next year, his base salary is 10.5 in cash. His cap is 8.25. The cost is only 2.416. Here's the biggest thing: if you buy him out next year, you save $8 million, and the cap hit for OEL is only $150,000. Then the next year it's 2.3. The years after that it's 4.8, 4.8, and then 2.1 after that. So it's actually $20 million of cap hits spread over 8 seasons. You actually save $10 million by doing it. So it's actually not as bad as I thought. So you see the contract ends after 4 years, but you're doing cap hits for 4 years after that. But you actually save $8 million here, $5 million, $2 million. So you actually save close to $18 million if you do buy him out. I don't know if that's going to happen. I just realized, sorry guys, I did all that without even sharing the screen. So let's start that again. I'm sorry. I never pressed share screen. Ekman-Larsson has a contract for 4 more years after this. So remember, it's twice as long as his contract. So the buyout's going to be 8 years. However, you only end up paying 2/3 of what he's owed. He's owed about $30 million. So we're going to end up paying him $20 million. So there's our 2/3. Let's not get into the minutia, but this is the biggest thing. If we buy out Ekman-Larsson next year, the cap hit's only $150,000. We save $8 million. The year after that, 2.3, then 4.8, 4.8, and then 4 more years of 2.1. So technically, we actually save $8 million next year, 5.5 the next year, 3 and 3. So the 4 years that he actually has a contract with us, we actually save up to $18 million. But then it's the 4 years afterwards where we give up $2 million. But you might say the cap is going up. That's not going to be as big of a percentage. It might be worth it. Crazy. I know. So it's way better than I thought. And I'm sorry that I never even showed it on the screen. That was not my finest moment. Let's get back to where we were. I will pray for you tonight, Carol. I'm glad you're feeling better, but still not good. Going to be tested for cancer. I'm going to tell you I'm scared. Well, Carol, thank you for sharing that. I think everyone here in this community will be rooting for you, and I will certainly say a prayer for you today during my prayer hour. Thank you, Carol. Rutherford mentioned he thought that the cap here on the Canucks wouldn't be as difficult to manage. If so, why did he sign Miller to that extension? Yes, Peter, I mentioned that. I think you were here yesterday. I mentioned that yesterday. I read his quotes. Yeah, so I don't know why they signed Miller when they did. So, Jed, I know you asked this before I showed it. It's actually not as bad as I thought. What do you think has the most potential to happen first? The Canucks drafting first overall or Stanley Cup final? If the Canucks continue to play poorly, they have a chance to win a lottery before they make the Stanley Cup finals. Yeah. WWE is Yeah, it is fun to watch. I'm a 48-year-old man, and I still watch it. Oh, it's just a rumor. Okay, thank you. Considering most teams are up against the cap, do you think that players have to reconsider their worth? Murray, players and agents, they're going to try and get as much money as they can for their players. So no, I think they just try and take advantage or take advantage of the system or try and have this system benefit them as much as it can. Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund. Thank you. What's your favorite entrance to the Rogers Arena for Canucks games? You know, I like coming in off the Georgia Street entrance because I get to see my billboard. I don't mind going in the club seat entrance if I get there early enough because it's very fast. That's an interesting question. OEL 10.5 cash, not salary. Not salary. No, so not salary cap. Only good news is that the Sharks won. They're only 3 behind. Hashtag Bedard. Hey, Ricky. If you're a betting man, do you think Canucks will follow the Bennington no plan or commit to a full rebuild? I think Rutherford... A full rebuild is so tricky. I don't know if Rutherford has the patience for that, but I think they will do more to this team to change it than Benning did, for sure. Is this season worse than the Messier years? It's pretty close. No, I think the Messier years, though, we're even... Actually, I don't know the record, if we were a lot worse back then. I think there are more expectations for that team. On Canucks After Dark, you mentioned the words patience and maturity in terms of the fans would be okay with the rebuild. I would say in terms of maturity, I would say yes. Most fans have accepted that. That's fine, Peter. I mean, that's fair. Thank you for sharing that. Should be in bed, but I'm coming here. Just had a snack 20 minutes ago. Thank you, Taylor, for being here. Do you think the team looks embarrassing in a lot of games? The way they fold under pressure? Yeah, embarrassing is such a strong word. They're professional athletes. They might be embarrassed by their performance, but I wouldn't call it embarrassing. Like I thought tonight, they were playing hard until the very end, for sure. Will you have meetups to watch other teams in the playoffs? No, hi, T. I simply... it's kind of not my brand. I just don't know how many people we would draw unless it's the finals. Maybe I'll do something for the finals, but a first round game between LA and Seattle, I'm not sure. For instance, that's not the game I would pick, but how many people would come out to that? When Penguins turned things around, the goals they scored, Oil was flat on the ice, indicating he had something to do with those goals. Yes, he was not good tonight. 67% of the fan base would be on board with it. Definitely. I think we're just frustrated the fact that they keep going with this retool plan for years and it hasn't worked. Yes. 7th worst in the league progress. Do you think we should consider trading Garland for a draft pick? Yeah. Frees up cap space. I just don't. Yeah. I don't think his value is going to be that high. Clay, what would you do if you're Canucks GM? Like, who would you buy out, trade, and would you target draft picks? Or are there players you'd love to see on the Canucks? Yeah, there are plenty of players I'd love to see on the Canucks, but easier said than done. If I was the GM, I know this would be very hard. I would actually trade Miller and sign Horvat. No, but if I really want a true rebuild, you have to trade Horvat, Kuzmenko, and Shen and get whatever you can for them, really, which sounds crazy. Oh, so tough. Then I would try to do something with Garland, Besser, Pearson, OEL, and Myers. Hey, Andrew, I'm not sure if Lucas is on the stream because on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights are tough for him because he works at the Autism Center on Wednesday and Friday. But if he is on the stream, you will never be alone. We'll all be there for you to lift you back up again. We'll never leave a huge Canucks fan down and out. Yeah, I messaged Lucas. He's fine. We had a differing opinion on the way certain people are in here, but I truly think he's okay, unless he said something and I missed it. Debut Hunter said he'd take the buyout. Bedard is coming home. Take care, Lucas. God bless. Think of you. Hope all is well. Canucks should look at themselves in the mirror and get Pete Weber to say his favorite line because no one knows who they are. What was his line? I am who I... What did he say at the end of his... I just watched it last night too. I did it. Who do you think you are? I am, right? Yeah. Who do you think you are? I am, is what Pete Weber, the bowler, said. That's a great question. I think you are limited in buyouts. You can't just do everything. And the owner wouldn't go for it either, Coach Rob, but I'm not sure if there actually is a limit. What are the chances that Horvat gets traded and then signs in the offseason? Slim to none. Slim to none. If I was Horvat, I don't know if I'd come back here. The cap is ruining hockey. No movement, no trades. Constipation. Just Canucks with an issue. Not just the Canucks with an issue. Needs a big fix. Yeah. Different leagues have different mottos. Luxury tax. A player that's exempt. Franchise tag. Whatever. Yeah. The NHL salary cap is pretty strict. Iran number 1. Russia number 1. USA. Ha! Very good. Iron Sheik in the house. Lucas is here. Thanks for being here, Lucas. Best wishes from and energy from Justin. No problem. Fangirl. I can't show it on here, but I know she used her 20-month membership message. When you watch a game in a suite, are there restaurants in walking distance, or is it all order? Different suites have different arrangements. Some they do. No, I'd say a true suite. Yeah, there's food there. Sometimes for a purchase, sometimes provided depending on the arrangement. And then if you go to actual Encore Suite, Best Buy Suite, or whatever they're called, then it's actually buffet, Captain's Lounge, and things like that. But generally, in a typical 20-person suite, they'll have like light refreshments and light food, but nothing too major. Yeah, there was a club entrance. Which of your other favorite teams do you think will make it furthest in the playoffs? If Colorado gets healthy, my money's on them. They got to make it first. Winnipeg lost to Detroit today. I'm not sold on that they are deep enough to go. So maybe Colorado, Tampa, Winnipeg in that order. Would I waive my no trade clause to Columbus, San Jose, or Chicago? It means to get Connor Bedard. Would I take one for the team? It's easy for me to look like the hero and say, yeah, I'd take one for the team. I'm not so sure. Maybe San Jose, actually. Actually, Chicago's a cool city. I'm not sure if I go to Columbus, though. So, yeah, I'd do it. What's been the most frustrating part about this team? Not just this season, but really since the Cup final. I think the most frustrating thing is their inability to build a strong blue line. All right, Pat, hypothetical Pat. Canucks approach you to join them as their new in-house reporter, full-time, 3 years times 129, with room for growth within the organization. Yes, you. Oh yeah, for sure. If I can still do YouTube, make 130 grand. Yes. You should get them to offer that to me. I'll take it. Why is the team so fragile with multi-goal leads? Maybe they don't have the killer instinct. Maybe they don't have enough leadership. Justin, good question. More compelling evidence of the need for a rebuild. Yes, David, I would agree with you. Who do you think you are? I am. Just took a peek at the Messier season results. Yikes, this season is better. Yeah, that's what I thought, Jeff. That's what I thought. To me, accountability, ownership, not committing to a full rebuild, not taking responsibility for this mess that's been happening for a decade. That's all true. Canucks have only 15 wins and 61 visits to Pittsburgh. Oh my gosh. That's brutal. Winning 1 out of every 4. Debut Hunter, thank you for remembering and thank you for asking. And I still see your posts on Instagram. I'm a bit out of the loop. Have you looked to reschedule the Rome trip with Gail, or is that a back burner? Yes, but not till 2025. That was supposed to be for our 20th anniversary in 2020. We are going to do it in 2025. Rebuilds are tricky. Look at how many struggle, take forever to get back to relevance. Yes. Do you think a power forward like Bertuzzi, who can physically still produce goals and put fear into the opposition? Do you think a power forward who can... Are you asking me if the Canucks should get one or could use one? Yes. Are you asking me if they are still relevant in today's game? Also, yes. So this team might as well give it a try with this draft. Fantilli, Michov, Bedard, of course. Rebuilds don't always work. Oilers, for example, we might as well take a chance and see how we do. Classy Freddie Blassie. Canucks would be champs. Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. Exactly. Always fighting against Mike Rotundo and Barry Windham, the U.S. Express. the core four and trade the rest. So the core four, I presume, is PD, Hughes, Demko, and who? Is it still Horvat? I could see that. We haven't tried rebuilding. By retooling, we will never surpass being an average team. Yes, White Ninja, we got to rebuild, not retool. Sean says, I would trade you if it means we get Bedard. You mean as your dad? That's not nice. I'll talk to you later. Canucks showing a lot of heart. They can't outscore their goaltending, but at least they aren't giving up. Says a lot. Must be depressing to score so many goals and see leads flushed. Yeah, and that's the thing, GoldenEye. They Boudreau praised their effort. I thought they played hard in the third period, the only period I watched. But whenever you hear them in their press conferences or their media availability after they lose, unfortunately, they do sound like a team that's losing. They're saying all the right things. Just got to take it one day at a time, flush this one, come back hard the next time. Never gave up. But we're hearing way too much of that. They've also shown it can work too. Chicago, Colorado, worth the risk. Yeah, I think it's worth it from a standpoint of we haven't really tried it. Taylor Betts liked Sean's comment there. Sean, amen. Oh, great. Everyone's turning on me now. If Clay's traded, does that mean you take over as Canucks Sean or Sean's Canucks commentary? Would you trade Kuzmenko at the deadline for a first with a backdoor deal to resign him in the offseason? He likes Vancouver. Who knows what his next deal is going to look like? Trade Kuzmenko at the deadline for a first. I don't think we get a first for him, though. I don't. Low first, high second. Tough to say. Thoughts on this proposal? Clay and Parker, Sean, Jacob, McKayla, and Gale to Chicago for Seth Jones and the rights to get Connor Bedard. Oh, no. You want my... Oh, Chicago's winning that deal for sure. You think Demko will be a trade target, kind of like Gibson and Anaheim? I don't think so, Jed. I think this team really likes Demko. Do you think the Canucks are doing better, and did they do good today? They had an interesting game, Shayna, but they lost 5-4. Yeah, Bertuzzi had nice hands, and he was a beast. I think one Alberta team misses the playoffs and fire their GM this offseason. They're both floundering and are in wildcard spots. Which Alberta team misses? I think Calgary's the more complete team, so I think Edmonton would miss if I had to pick one of those two. Rebuilding is what Linden wanted for the team. We should have kept the Stanley Cup Finals player in Linden to fix the team. If we did, we wouldn't have any of these conversations. Yeah, that was tough when he got ousted 4 or 5 years ago. Do you suppose a team like Pens, Flyers, or Jackets would take Miller? Those teams seem in a better spot. Yeah, a team on the East Coast for sure. I would love it, but I don't know their salary cap situations, to be honest with you. PD and Hughes should be the untouchables. Yeah, Shane and the Canucks are doing okay. Not great, though, and very disappointing season. We need Bedard. What do you think of LeBron reporting that Kuzmenko offers which start at $6 million? If he keeps up this pace, I could see it. I could see it. No, I've never had a perfect game. My best game, Coach Rob, ever, I can look it up right now. My best game ever, open bowling statistics, high game is 244. Yeah, my best shot on August 31st, 2017. So 6 years ago, I had my best game ever. No UFA will sign with the Canucks if they trade Miller. Yeah, that's a really good point. Opponents take liberties with the Canucks because their power play sucks. Yeah, if you're not afraid that you're going to get scored on. Horvat trade. 3 assets, the main asset being right-handy two-way defenseman, a young prospect center, and a draft pick. Yeah, I've been talking about 3 assets as well. Kuz extension could be either 5.5 or something like 5 years or ticket inflated 66.5, 1 year. Prove it. I could see that happening. Defensive coverage is abysmal. Even games they win, they generally outscore their troubles. I agree with that, Jeff. What makes everyone think that Bedard actually wants to come to Vancouver? One of these days, the first overall will say no thanks. Yeah, but I don't think Bedard is going to be that guy who says no thanks. He's talked about how big of a fan he has been of the Vancouver Canucks. Jed, I think they make it, but Edmonton misses, so I'm with you, Ricky. If you had a chance to go back in time and do color commentary for any game in Canuck history, which one would you pick? Any game in Canucks history. You know, that Vancouver-Chicago game, Game 7, 2011, first round, Game 7, that was pretty historic. Maybe that one. That was pretty fun. Hey, Shannon, thank you for the donation. $10 donation. Choo-choo. To all the CCC crew, I still like the Canucks and always will. Thanks for being a great community. Remember, everyone, winter can be a hard time, dark and wet, but we need to support friends in the winter. Amen. Thank you, Shannon, and thank you for the donation. And let's give some love to Shannon. He's literally opined, not open, but opined that he loves Vancouver. He's a big fan. His favorite player is Tyler Mott. Interesting. Way to go, Sean, and that's awesome. You are so right. Wait, is that about trading me? Or is that Shannon? I think you meant Shannon. LeBron reported Kuzmenko contract would probably have to start with a 6. Yeah, Ricky, thank you. I brought that up earlier. I kind of blazed through it, but yes, 6 for sure. Or at least that's what LeBron said. Which contract looks worse, Miller or Huberdeau? I think Miller's looks a tad worse, but maybe because we see him on a nightly basis. What would you want in return for him? Also feel like it's no-brainer to change 59% for more assets. Want for who? If you're talking about Horvat, I want 3 assets back for sure. What about Calgary and Florida misses playoffs too after the trade? Kachuk is having a great year. Yeah, Kachuk he's a monster. He's on my fantasy team. Huberdeau is being average. Yeah, up and down, getting a little bit better. Interesting how Sean brings up trading Clay and everyone jumps on the idea. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit sad actually with the lack of love here from the CC. I'm just kidding. But it's funny. Sean, usually he's always lurking on when he's home. He's always outside. He's kind of listening to these streams, but I know we got to go to the airport in about 45 minutes. So he's probably just trying to find things to do. And that's why he's on the stream for sure. Okay. So let's wrap up here. It is 11:45 and I really appreciate everyone that was here tonight. So, moderators, thank you. Sounds like you didn't have to do too much tonight, which is okay. Oh, okay. We'll end with this. I would also trade any family member for Bedard, to be fair. Well, fine, Sean. We would trade you as well. And it wouldn't even have to be for Bedard. We would trade you. No, we wouldn't trade. Yeah, I think a few. What if we, yeah, there, Coach Rob, what if we trade you? Okay, this last thing, as Mickey's outside my door, so hopefully if he starts barking, Sean will take care of him. This is the last question that, thanks for coming back, Landon, even though I'm leaving like right now. So this is what I'm going to ask you to type in, and I'll read a couple responses before I go. Which family member would fetch the most in return? And I'll build a case for all 5, so it's not biased. Me, come on, that goes without saying. The leader of the CCC, a staple here on YouTube, loyal Canucks season ticket member, good looking, funny, athletic. Okay, maybe now I'm going too far. So there's me. There's my lovely wife, Gail, who absolutely holds this family together. She's the rock, she's the glue, and she never wavers, and she is absolutely solid, unflappable. So there's Gail. There is Sean. I've said very smart, athletic, very capable, obviously has a good sense of humor, great public speaker, awesome leader, finishing UBC Business School. There's Sean. There's Jacob, fun, charismatic, Team Canada bowler, perfect game, 2 perfect games in the past week, very creative, always has a smile on his face. Or there's Kayla, who likely has the most potential because she's the youngest. She's only 15, beautiful, talented, very generous, very nurturing, very caring, going to be a teacher just like her mom. So I've laid out the 5 options: Clay, Gail, Sean, Jacob, and Kayla. I will read your responses. I will not cry if I'm not named in any of them. Who has the most trade value? Who would, for whatever reason, the CCC Crew trade to rebuild this Canucks team? DB Hunter said, would you trade in your YouTube channel for Stanley Cup? Yeah, I would. I would. And then I would take a year, and then I would just start it up right when can I start it up like right when the Canucks win again? Would I trade in my YouTube channel? Yeah, I think I would find another creative way to express my fandom. I would take one for this city. So what are you guys saying? Who has the most trade value? Coach Rob, don't trade Mickey. Yeah, Mickey probably has the least trade value of the 6 of us, actually. Sean is firing on all cylinders for wanting Bedard. Rosie says Gail. I have a feeling she's going to get most of the votes. Jed says Gail. Peter says Kayla. Interesting. Jeff says we love you, but I have a feeling Jeff is setting me up for something else. We love you, Clay. Where's the but? Mickey is my dog's name. Gail, because she's a queen. We're not trading her, though. Oh, so too much value here. Gail would, as she can run a school, or Mickey would get lots in return. Great. When people are picking Mickey over me, there's a problem. Gail would, because she makes the emos and is the most tradeworthy. I can't argue with that. Lisa says Gail. Sean would be the best GM with his communication skills. I can't deny that. None of the above, because we as a fan base go through so much pain already. Losing the prime Canucks role model family would only extend that pain. No other family can replace the emos. Oh, Justin, I should just end there, but there's other comments. Thank you, Justin. Our family loves you as well. Mickey would fetch the most future considerations. Mickey for Rip. Who says no? Now, of course, respectfully, we're not talking about Rick Rippin. We're talking about the dog, the Canucks dog, Rip. Very cute. Maybe smarter than Mickey, maybe slightly more athletic than Mickey, but I obviously have a soft spot for Mickey. I'd go Sean, seems to have something about him. Keep Kayla, treat Clay. Too heavy of a captain. Well, at least you put the word captain in there and not just too heavy. Sean would have the best negotiation skills. Clay would give us Ryan Reeves. Gail would get us a second round pick. Sean would get us a prospect. Jacob would get us a first, and Kayla would get us Connor Bedard. Yeah, Sean, you'd only get us a prospect that won't even pan out. Well, I'm thinking none of the above, as the whole emo family is a great loving, and I love the whole emo family. We love you too, Shannon. If you're trading for Bedard, they won't just take Clay. It's going to be Clay, Sean, and a third round pick. Oh my gosh, this is pretty funny. What about trade Sean and Mickey in a package? Yeah, I think Mickey is the most valuable asset in that package. Which one of you can drive a Zamboni? Well, I've seen the way my boys drive. I think you better leave, and Gail, so I think you got to leave that to me. No, I would not trade anyone. You are a great family. I cannot supporters and one of the best YouTube people, Clay, in the whole world. Thank you. And of course, we're just having some fun with this. And as I expected, Gail getting the most votes. I think Sean's got a lot of votes. I'm coming in 6th behind Jacob, Kayla, and Mickey. Would they retain salary on Sean? But that depends. It depends on how big Sean's salary is. Hey, Harry, how are you? Close game. So, Harry, I actually welcome. I've talked about the game already. I thought the Canucks had a decent effort, but they can't give up those multi-goal leads. But I would invite you to go back to the start of the stream. Thank you for being here, Harry. Raymond Ballard in a second gets it done. What, for the emos or for Bedard? I'll say the T word because it has nothing to do with the Canucks. Tank for emo. Well, hey, Clay, if you can drive a Zamboni, you would have the highest trade value. Perfect. I'm going to end there because it's the only one that mentioned me. Okay, that was fun. That was a little bit random, but I thought that was pretty cool. I should probably do more of those kind of things. People on the podcast are like, what the heck was this? So moderators, thank you for being here and thank you for all your good work. As always, members, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang. Thanks to all of you and everyone who donated, who became members, who subscribed, and who especially participated in that last weird chat for the final 5 minutes. Actually, I like those kind of questions. It's a little bit self-centered, but it's my channel. I can do what I want, and it creates a lot of some creativity and some fun within the chat. Keeping it light on a night that the Canucks lost 5-4. So tomorrow, no Canucks practice. So I probably won't vlog during the day. I actually have quite a busy day. But then tomorrow night, I will be on at 11 p.m. And then I'll bring Team Canada member Jacob, second straight year, 2 perfect games, network TV star. And we can pitch to him what he would be worth, how much he would be able to get for us in a trade package. Is Jacob Emo worth Connor Bedard? That is the question for tomorrow. So on your way out, subscribe, like the video, become a member, upgrade your membership, leave a donation, continue to leave comments. Thank you, Van City Experts Real Estate. Thank you, Perform and Transform, Personal Training and Weight Loss. And thanks to all of you. That was fun. Something different, something light. But I think everyone had a good time. At least I hope so. So as always, stay safe, stay healthy. Whoops, I don't know why I stumbled there. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. You're living, you occupy space, and you have mass. You know what that means? You matter. You do. God bless. And go Canucks go. Booyah.